I just happened to see this, but what is very interesting about it is that in the middle of the night when I was asleep, a friend sent me a link to a video from God Rules, and the very thing I had just seen that I was going to explain to you, he was talking about something different, but it connected to what he was talking about. And let me just share what I saw. And this is pertaining to how things are lining up for the last days, the beast system and all. I never look on Lamar Odom's Twitter or anything, but I was just looking at some headlines and his Twitter page came up. And he said on there, check this out. This new NFT, Cardalordz, is a slam dunk. It has good-looking art and is all about bringing people together. They're going to have a metaverse, a big world where you can play as your characters in the technological form. So then he had a link to this Cardalordz, so I looked it up. Now what this is having to do with the cryptocurrency, which I'm not real savvy about all of that, but I'm just presenting something to you that I think is going to be significant here. And getting to the Cardalordz or Cardano NFT pre-sale, they say on there, bringing spirituality and religion on the Cardano blockchain. For the first time ever, you will be able to store your deities in your crypto wallet. So let me just tell you what I saw there, and another article about this is at ktvn.com. And it says Cardalordz.io to mount the first spirituality-based NFTs on the Cardano blockchain platform. And then it says about it that avid investors have been jumping into cryptocurrency and non-fungible tokens. That's what NFTs are, non-fungible tokens, lately, as these two blockchain-based investment instruments have become the modern equivalent of a gold rush. As these new developments have taken over, companies like Cardalordz have been on the rise. World-renowned NFT artist Circle Purple, who is leading the NFT artwork, is one of Cardano's NFT market's most prominent players. The mission of Cardalordz is to bring all world religions together through a unique spiritual metaverse. Our project's NFTs function as avatars and admit owners into their corresponding religious areas of worship within the metaverse, where they will be able to study the deity on their NFT. Each NFT will feature a deity with varying passages from their religious text stored as metadata as one of their rarity deviations, allowing for users to both further their personal knowledge of the deity and to create card variations in a respectful manner. Two of the most popular NFTs in the market now are Space Buds and Clay Nation. 6 months ago, Space Buds were available for as little as $10 each. Now, having one of the 10,000 released contracts of Space Buds will have a price tag of $10,000 or higher currently, that goes for $3,500 ADA. Clay Nation, another popular NFT today, has a collection of over 10,000 clay characters made from around 100 handcrafted clay traits in 8 categories. The characters came from an algorithm-based permutation of those 100 traits. Clay Nation is now a community that celebrates unbounded individuality through NFTs and has an exclusive NFT owner zone that has an online festival like atmosphere. Now get this. Inspired by these two successes, Circle Purple is gearing up to launch Cardalordz.io. The upcoming release looks to become the next prominent project to match Clay Nation and Space Buds. The NFT collection will focus on blockchain characters like Shiva, that's the destroyer, Jesus, which is a false Jesus, Buddha, Ra of Egypt, Ganesha, Zeus, Krishna, and others. Over 20 lords, with a Z, will be available initially. With state-of-the-art Cardano blockchain NFT technology, Cardalordz has a function that if one person can obtain every variety of a particular lord at one time, then the rarest and potentially most valuable version of that lord will be bred, explains a Cardalordz representative on how the NFT will function. This will give the incentive to hold and collect. The company behind the religious NFT is also creating an online game based on the lords, where players can function as their characters and battle with each other. More news will come out in the coming days as development moves further. Now, this is extremely popular and they've sold out of all this stuff. The CNFT.io market has been rising fast and looks to be the next most significant digital currency as the Cardano NFT market also continues to hit new highs with time. With Cardalordz, Circle Purple hopes to give people the chance to sport their faith on the NFT blockchain by adding their deities to their crypto wallets. Given that religion and spirituality plays such a massive role in people's identities and cultures, the company is confident that the new project will provide much valuable to its people and become a hit. The NFT's release date has yet to be announced, but the company has made it clear that it will come out on the CNFT.io platform. So on the video, on their website, they show all of these different so-called deities, and they show each one of the, like Buddha and all of the ones I listed there, including a false Jesus. And it's very disturbing to me that this technology is headed that way and that you can keep your deities in your pocket. I mean, we thought the world had gone mad already, and now this is added to it all. This is all an attempt by technology to bring together all the religions into one thing so that it can be, become that one world religion that they're all hoping for. And I'd rather not show these images of all of these deities that they're showing because they're obviously demonically inspired, and they come with their demons and all of that, and I don't want to post anything that looks like that. But what was interesting is that they showed this one so-called deity, and it's interesting that he had an Egyptian headdress, but he had the face of like a falcon. And, real muscular, like a warrior's body, like he was marching along. And he had this bird face. And it was so evil, I just didn't even want to look at it. For that reason, I really don't want to show it to you. I just want to tell you what it was, and that it had this face of like a falcon. So, interestingly enough, I'm thinking about all this and thinking this is really a strange turn of events, that they're combining these so-called deities with the cryptocurrency, hoping you'll keep your own deities in your own crypto wallet, dealing with cryptocurrency. When I see something like this that's so blasphemous, I know I could make a video and show you every single one of the pictures of what they're showing. But it's so against the Lord, God of Israel, so against Jesus, that I don't want to have it be part of my video. I just want to tell you and warn you about this, and that this thing is selling out all over the place, and that it's extremely popular, like people are rushing to get it. I was going to tell you that a friend was texting me. I was asleep. It was the middle of the night. It was probably, 4 or 5 a.m. She sends me this text that I didn't get till I woke up. And when I looked at the video, it was put out by God Rules channel. And I hope you'll go look at his video, because he's explaining some things that I don't think he knows this information about the cryptocurrency yet. But I had just seen this, and it connects to everything that he is saying that he was talking about in his video. And let me see where it is here. Now, this website, I want you to go watch this video. God Rules is the name of the channel, and it's called Something Very Disturbing as Elites Hide in Bunkers. And then it says could, and then ... And about 20 minutes in, right at about the 20-minute, 39-second mark, he is talking about how this one guy is exposing Buddha as being sitting under a tree with knowledge. And he's in the cross-legged position like the Buddha. And underneath him is a coiled up serpent. And he's underneath, sitting under the tree of knowledge, basically. Think of the implications of that. So this guy is exposing that this goes back to the Garden of Eden, to the serpent, giving these deceitful spirits and Satan's evil that is knowledge that is against God, basically. But when he goes on to talk about the 20-minute mark, I try to put the link to his video there. But what he says about that is that some of these characters that go along with these demonic, he said that there was a demon over Buddha pictured in this picture, and that it looked like the satanic Baphomet symbol, which is really grotesque. And he said that sometimes they are portraying Satan with a bird face. Well, that's exactly what I saw on the cryptocurrency website, where they're trying to tell you that you can pretend to be one of these deities. You can put these things in your crypto wallet, and you could, figure out which one you want to be for the day, I guess. But this was really incredible that his information coincided with the cryptocurrency, and he's not even talking about the cryptocurrency. I don't want to show you any of the images, but I just want you to hear where he says that Satan is representative with a bird face, and that was what was the cryptocurrency picture that I saw, but it wasn't connected to anything that he was talking about. He was talking about something else, and just listen to what he's saying here.
Snakes giving wisdom to Buddha and how to attain enlightenment. You also have a snake underneath him as well, coiled up, kind of reminiscent of the Garden of Eden, with the snake there tempting Adam and Eve with knowledge. Now, this is not the only thing you can find like this. There's actually a lot of this. Usually the snakes are almost always in these type of pictures of Buddha. Not all of them, but often. You also have the dragon, although this is difficult to see here. This is a dragon's face. Dragons are often very common with Buddha pictures. This is a celestial Buddha here. I'm wondering if these are supposed to be the snakes themselves, because often it will have little snakes pointing in. This is sort of like more dragons behind him. Here you see demons around him, often with bird faces and such. And I'm going to play a video in a minute here from a guy who's basically exposing Buddha. You see this demon above him, which looks like Baphomet. It's also both sexes. But it has a bird's face and bird's feet, which also commonly you'll find certain older depictions of the devil as having a bird's face. Okay? Wow. And this actually also echoes back to Egyptian hieroglyphics of Hermes or Thoth, which is the false god of knowledge.
This is the guy, God Rules channel, that said those things. And I'm going to put a link so you can go listen to that. And he shows all the pictures and everything, but I just don't want the pictures of these deities on my channel, and I don't want to have anything connecting myself to any of those evil things. Again, that video is something very disturbing as elites hide in bunkers could ... God Rules is the channel. So, you know, they're changing the name of Facebook. Zuckerberg's changing it to Meta. So that'll be in the metaverse. And these are the meta lords that they're creating so all these people can come together and have all of their religions come together. And then incorporating these lords within the monetary system of cryptocurrency. So you see how this is going to create the mark of the beast system when they're incorporating these false deities with the money. You know? Believe me, they're making these images, these pictures of these deities real colorful with turquoise and purple and emanating rays and all of this stuff. They've got a false Jesus that isn't Jesus, and all of this is blasphemy. Now, this website, yruz.1, says, Cardalordz will make history as the first NFT of spiritual deities on Cardano blockchain on the 7th of November 2021. It is minting a collection of 9 revered spiritual deities that, like I said, including a false Christ, Shiva, Buddha, Ra, Quetzalcoatl, that's related to the devil, Sun Wukong, Zarathustra, Zeus, and Amaterasu. They said also NFT experts have predicted that there will be a huge market share for Cardalordz once it becomes popular among religious communities across the globe. It says Cardalordz is building its own metaverse. Plans are afoot to build a spiritual metaverse, a designed portal for users to experience a virtual world of their inventory of Cardalordz tokens. Every holder would be granted entrance into a religious community of their choice within the metaverse. Holders will be able to host and attend religious ceremonies to help them uncover more intriguing facts about their deities with access to different passages from the religious text stored as metadata among the rarity deviations. Let's just explain what this NFT means. It differs from cryptocurrencies, apparently. The best thing that has happened to money as we know it is its fungibility, whether in paper or digital form. money is fungible. It's like they're trying to make up a whole new language, you know, so nobody can understand it unless they take a course and figure it out. Because it can be replaced by any unit of it. A single dollar note is worth another and can be replaced by a zillion times. The same goes for a unit of Bitcoin when it is replaced by another unit of Bitcoin over 1 billion times. In contrast, an NFT, being a digital asset, is non-fungible because it can't be replaced. Leonardo da Vinci's famous drawing, the Mona Lisa, is an NFT because it can't be replaced by another Mona Lisa. Another famous example is Twitter's founder Jack Dorsey's first ever tweet, which was sold for $2.9 million in March. NFT simplified. The acronym NFT stands for non-fungible token. An NFT is a digital asset. Music, real estate, drawings, articles from Quartz and the New York Times, a domain name, video clips, etc. stored on the blockchain. A blockchain is a digital ledger technology built to secure and record crypto transactions. In the case of an NFT, it provides a proof of ownership of your stored art or digital asset, thus preventing it from theft. Ethereum blockchain is one of the platforms providing proof of ownership support to NFTs. Anyone with a spark of interest and some basic computer skills can create an NFT. As a technology trend, it has created an avenue for artists to profit off of their creativity, and with its rate of adoption, collectors are flooding into NFT markets to buy such speculative assets as NFTs. Now let me take you back to Strong's Exhaustive Concordance when it's talking about the mark of the beast in Revelation. And you go to Strong's Concordance number 5480, which we know the mark of the beast is the word charagma. And we know it means a stamp or a mark. But listen to this definition. And this is from the Strong's definition. It's from the same as charax, a scratch or etching, stamp, as a badge of servitude, or sculptured figure, statue, graven mark. Did you ever hear those words before with this? Sculptured figure, statue? And that's what they're creating with these images of these false deities, are images that you can keep in your crypto wallet. Now, what if they start implementing these onto your hand or your forehead instead of keeping them in a crypto wallet? I just had never ever heard that particular definition for the mark of the beast, a sculptured figure, statue, graven mark. So is it going to be the mark with these images of these deities that's coming through the cryptocurrency, through the NFT? These images really and truly do look like statues of these false gods, these so-called deities that are abominations to God. And they look like sculptured figures that the artists are making. And this very much is a possibility of the mark of the beast coming right up in the events of this world. It also says about the mark in the NAS Exhaustive Concordance, from carasso, to sharpen, to engrave, a stamp, impress, but then it says image formed mark. Those are clearly images of what they're calling Cardalordz. Now remember, they're trying to bring all of the religions together into this one world religion through this thing that pertains to a different type of money and monetary system. And interesting that God rules, I don't know what that gentleman's name is, but when he was talking about the serpent being under Buddha, having the knowledge, we could see that that's the knowledge of good and evil, that Satan wanted to deceive the world. If you look up the word for beast, where it's talking about the mark of the beast, we have Strong's Exhaustive Concordance, number 2342, Therion. And it literally means venomous, wild beast. The same as Thera, a dangerous animal, venomous, wild. So there you would have the serpent, the devil, and in this image on the Cardalordz website that I saw was the Egyptian headdress with the bird face that looked like the falcon, and I'm assuming it's a falcon. It looked like either a falcon or a hawk, but I'm pretty sure it was a falcon. But underneath Buddha is the serpent, and of course that's all involved in yoga and all that stuff about the serpent going up your spine, and it's all connected to the venomous Satan bringing poison into people's minds and deceiving them against the one true God who created the universe, the God of Israel. We already know from the Maccabees that the abomination of desolation was Zeus set up in the temple. And like he was saying on God Rules, that it goes back farther into Egypt. And that character that I saw on Cardalordz on Twitter, that warrior-like character that had an Egyptian belt, and he even had the serpent on the crown, but he had the falcon face of a bird, and he had the Egyptian headdress. So it does go back to Egypt. And of course, the Lord said Pharaoh was the great dragon. So that's the serpent. All these deities that the Egyptians worshipped, those all stemmed from Satan, the devil. And that's what they're doing with this NFT, this new monetary system. And I believe the word charagma also means sculptured figure or statue, a graven mark, a scratch, and etching as a badge of servitude. This all comes together with what they're doing because they're using these sculptured figures, these statues of these deities. And it's going to have something to do with the new monetary system that they're rapidly trying to put in place. If you look up that meaning of charagma specifically for a sculptured figure or statue, I typed in the search box, what is a sculptured figure or statue? And this was what it said. A statue is a carved or cast figure of a person or animal. Sculpture is a piece of art that is made by carving or molding clay, stone, metal. The term sculpture also refers to the art of carving or molding clay, stone, and metal. Isn't that interesting that one of those groups of doing the MFTs, they're called Clay Nation. That's talking about molding clay. So right there in Strong's Concordance, it's telling you that the mark of the beast incorporates a sculptured figure or statue, which is a carved or cast figure of a person. In this case, it would be a deity, a false god. Now it's interesting to look at this definition of figurine. A diminutive form of the word figure or statuette is a small three-dimensional sculpture that represents a human, deity, or animal, or in practice a pair or small group of them. Figurines have been made in many media with clay, metal, wood, glass, and today plastic or resin. The most significant ceramic figurines not made of porcelain are called terracottas in historical contexts. So that's an interesting definition of the mark of the beast. something I have never heard before. I've always heard about the tattoo, the stamp, that it may be a chip in your hand, all of that. But let me read a little more from this website, nftevening.com. It says, meet Cardalordz, the spiritual NFTs on the Cardano blockchain. At a time when new NFT projects are dropping left and right and center, Cardalordz is bringing something new to the table. The project from Nakamoto Labs claims to be the first spiritual NFT on the Cardano blockchain. It's a clear mission in place to bring all global religions together via NFTs and a spiritual metaverse. The nascent NFTs industry holds a lot of promises as it continues to leverage on other trending technologies such as VR and the blockchain, said Cardalordz founder Sean Kurtz. Cardalord's formidable advantage is that it is the first spiritual NFT on Cardano with a unique plan for its own metaverse and a mission to bring all the world's religions together. Cardalord's spiritual NFTs and a metaverse. From Christ, a false one, to Shiva to Buddha, the Cardalord's NFT collection consists of 9 spiritual deities with 9,999 variations. The collection also features Ra, Quetzalcoatl, Sun Wukong, Zarathustra, Zeus, and Amaterasu. Moreover, each NFT will come with a passage from the deity's religious texts, thereby allowing users to learn more about various religions. In terms of variations, each Lord's will have 9 different background colors, 9 styles of sacred geometry, and 9 different numbers. But why 9? This is no accident. In numerology, 9 signifies completion and new beginnings. Well, I don't think so. But if you turn all 3 of the 9s over, what do you have? 666. While these assets work like any other NFTs, they have an added advantage. They function as 3D avatars and playable characters in Cardalord's spiritual metaverse. So since they're saying playable characters, I would assume that you can take on one of these deities as yourself. To fulfill their mission, the NFT startup recently acquired exclusive rights to Zero-Zone 3D metaverse on Cardano blockchain. Here they will build Cardano's first 3D virtual world where users can play games, attend concerts, or religious ceremonies, and more. So now my question is, after having seen this and putting it together with what God Rules was saying about that's Satan that's depicted with the face of the bird, I'm wondering if the charagma, that is a sculptured figure or statue, a graven mark, will be where they turn this type of monetary system into something that instead of keeping in your crypto wallet, it'll be more convenient to etch it on your hand or in your forehead, and you can have any of these deities etched on there. And of course, this would be such blasphemy to the Lord. So you could see why anybody who takes that mark, they're taking a badge of servitude to these other deities. Now let's look at Revelation 17, verse 3. So he carried me away in the spirit into the wilderness, and I saw a woman sitting on a scarlet beast, which was full of names of blasphemy, having 7 heads and 10 horns. Full of names of blasphemy would be various deities that are not the real God. And the word for beast there is that word therion, which does mean venomous, and being full of names of blasphemy. So what are blasphemies? It's basically the crime of insulting or showing contempt or lack of reverence for the one true God. or a religion and its doctrines and writings, especially God as perceived by Christianity and Christian doctrines and writings. In one of the other NFTs, that Clay Nation, all of their characters were made from clay. So that is like a sculptured figurine, exactly the definition of charagma, as well as these deities that they've sculpted and made into artwork. So I can see how eventually, as I said, that they would transfer, instead of having the deities that you're gonna become the character of, instead of having it in your crypto wallet, it's gonna be on your hand or your forehead with the name of a false god. So you can see how insulting that would be to God who created the universe. So this is a really huge development in something I never really paid too much attention to before. When I saw the word charagma, everybody's talked about it just being a tattoo or a chip in your hand. Nobody has ever talked about it being a sculptured figure or a statue. This definitely links it to a monetary system. So you wouldn't be able to buy or sell unless you had the mark, the sculptured statue of a deity or tattoo or whatever it is on your hand or your forehead in the future. And with the number of the serpent, Satan, which is 666, which connects to other false gods that take that number and use it in Islam as well. So now we know the Pope's trying to create the one world religion, and this is just going to be a way in the metaverse to bring everybody together into one unit, and everybody will pick whichever deities they want to learn about, and it'll all be just all copacetic. Let's all hold hands and sing Kumbaya and worship all the false gods. Instead of just believing the truth, not believing the lie, and believing that Jesus died for your sins and died and was buried and rose on the third day to reverse the curse of Adam and Eve's sin in the garden, because the serpent deceived her from the tree of knowledge of good and evil. And this person is researching Buddha, going back to that, and sitting under the tree and having the serpent underneath him like he's sitting on a snake. So I didn't want to make this video very long. I just wanted to tell you that this is some new information that really reveals what the mark of the beast is and how it's going to be implemented through this monetary system with these sculptured figures or statues as part of the mark with that monetary system. And believe me, it's gaining in popularity like you cannot believe. It's what they're saying. So all the people that are involved in all this cryptocurrency, and then that's another element of that whole thing in the metaverse. And let me just finish this up by defining what the metaverse is. And this is what Facebook has changed their name to Meta. Metaverses use virtual reality, augmented reality, social media, and blockchain technology to create places that people want to spend time in. They are virtual worlds with virtual economies, though many are still in their infancy. And I think this is interesting. It says where crypto, NFT, capitalism collide. So it sounds to me like they're going to use psychology and, altering people's minds with this technology to believe that this virtual world is a reality world that isn't real, and they're messing with your minds And they're producing lies of blasphemies against God with this technology. And I'm just telling you that God just put all this together. So I'm bringing forward what the Lord showed me, combined with the information that God Rules was showing, which defined to me that the bird-faced character was Satan, depicting him that way. And this is, do you want to have that as a deity in your crypto wallet? You want to have Satan in there with a face like a bird, a falcon? We're closer than ever to those things coming to pass. Now we know that the mark of the beast comes like in the middle of the tribulation. But this is in its infancy. And if it's beginning to be developed right now, then we can see how they're going to implement it in the future, in the middle of the tribulation period. So I just wanted to share this new technology information with you and how it connects to Charagma as the sculptured figure statue being part of the mark. So I hope you gleaned something from this new information. And I'll leave the links to God Rules video. And he did not talk at all about the NFTs or anything. He was just talking about Buddha connecting to the serpent in the Garden of Eden and all of that. And then he happened to mention the bird-faced deity that was Satan that they show in, you know, these images. So it's very interesting. Can you imagine if they're taking one of those bird-faced deities that's Satan and etching it on their hand, and then it's basically they're giving themselves over to demons and the devil and his system. And you know, Satan is the one behind slavery and making people be servants and servitude underneath him. And I just reject all of this evil, and we need to focus on the one true God of Israel and the Lord Jesus, who is our Messiah. And not to take a false Jesus image and put it on you. No, don't ever do that, because this is just so revealing of what the mark of the beast is going to be. I'll just end with that, and I hope you learned something new, and it just shows how close we are to the coming of the Lord. Hopefully it won't be too long. And I told you the consecrated night for watching, and I hope you'll listen to Jesus' words. And I know a lot of people have a lot of conjectures about the rapture, but if there is a consecrated from the Lord night to watch, that's what I would pay attention to. So pretty soon the Lord's going to come, and all of this wickedness will end, and we will live with our King forever and ever. I'll talk to you soon.